Fans Beyond Wrestling, this is Denver, Colorado, the man, not the place. And as we prepare to release footage from the second St. Louis Sleeper Cell taping, I thought it might be a good idea to go back, put together a very special episode of All Killer featuring tag team matches from the pilot taping that have yet to be released. We're going to be kicking things off with the Hooligans. Devin and Mason Cutter going up against an unlikely combination in Alexander Rudolph and Jake Parnell. There we see the Hooligans getting the jump on Alexander Rudolph. And honestly, I'm not too surprised. Look at the size of this individual. Close to 6.5 feet tall. He towers over both Devin and Mason Cutter. And as the Hooligans come charging, one of the tag teams in the Midwest, Rudolph is manhandling both of them. He's got a sight center doing more damage in the corner. Sends him into Parnell. Looks like Parnell and Rudolph have been able to coordinate their strategy as they take it to Mason Cutter right now. But unfortunately, they do not have the experience together as a tag team the same way that the Hooligans do. Rudolph taking a risk right there, almost like a stage dive, just using all of his body's weight to wipe out the Hooligans on the floor. And there we see Parnell with that top rope moonsault. Did not connect with all of his body's weight, but it looked like he was able to connect with his boots on the top of the head of both Devin and Mason Cutter. Rudolph rolling his opponent and his partner in the ring. Parnell might be hurt. He might have done too much damage to himself. The official finally calling some order to this matchup as Parnell struggles to get to his feet. And he just spiked right on his head with that Hurricane Rana. The Hooligans, one of the fastest rising tag teams on the scene right now. These guys are absolutely devastating. And if you take one look at them, perhaps you'd expect to see, some bruising strikes like that. But what you might not expect is the finesse in which these two take to the air to attack their opponents. What a combination of strikes. The chop followed by the jab. Very difficult to prepare for. As Devin Cutter tagging in his brother. Now leaving it up to Mason to do some of the heavy lifting. Caught him with that forearm. Parnell trying to rally a comeback. After an errant kick, the second one finds the mark. Yeah, no problems right there. The toes of the boot right in between the shoulder blades. And this is what makes the Hooligans so dangerous. These quick tags. The way that they're able to combine their offense. Look at that, a standing moonsault and a leg drop from two competitors that both have to be in the range of about 300 pounds. And the youngster is in some serious trouble. This match only a couple minutes old. I think Parnell was trying to go for broke with that top rope moonsault, but he has not been able to recover since making that mistake. Now we see Parnell trying to feed off the energy. Some of the other wrestlers trying to bestow their advice on the youngster. Series of kicks find the mark. Just walked right into that clothesline. And once again, it looks like the Hooligans are trying to coordinate some tag team offense. And Mason with the assist to Devin Cutter. A twisting senton. And all of his weight landing on Parnell again. Who absolutely must tag out to Rudolph the second the opportunity presents itself. Now Devin tagging himself in. Connects with a boot right to the abdomen. Again with those overhand chops. Parnell trying to fight back. I'll give this kid credit. It looked like he was trying to sidestep Devin instead. Plucked out of midair, driven right into the buckle. Here comes Mason. Making sure to cut off the ring. Sent Parnell for the ride. Parnell get the boot up. Trying to elevate himself to that second rope. Just driving both the knees right to the face of Mason Cutter. Cutter able to make the tag to Devin. And even though Parnell was just inches away, I mean, I'll give him credit. He had an opening, he capitalized, but he may be spent. Oh! Again, all of that weight concentrated at the point of the elbow. And a bit of a lackadaisical cover, but at the same time, keeping his eyes on Rudolph to make sure that he would not interject himself to break up the proceedings. Now Parnell being elevated and deposited in that far corner. Mason Cutter. Gonna be climbing to that top rope. Gonna be wondering if he's taking a little bit too much time right here. Parnell starting to stir. Going up to that top rope. And sending Mason Cutter crashing down with that double underhook suplex. Rudolph's ready for the tag. But Parnell's running on fumes at this point. A miscalculation from the Hooligans. A rare one, might I add. And here we see Devin coming in, but so's Alexander Rudolph, taking it to both of the Hooligans. Now with that clothesline, sight set on his opponents. What elevation on that choke slam! Series of clubbing blows. And this is going to end badly for one of these men, both of these men. Oh, the backbreaker over the buckle! You gotta be kidding me! Parnell tagging himself in. Has he had enough time to recover on the apron? Just being used as a weapon by his partner. Hurled over that top rope, crashing down to the Hooligans. You're gonna tell me this guy's gonna fly? No chance. You hear the other wrestlers urging him on. Rudolph leaping over the top rope and wiping out everybody on the floor. That's a big dude. Making quite the impact on the Hooligans. And again, these two young competitors in Alexander Rudolph and Jake Parnell are showing that they can hang with the Hooligans. Looking for that suplex. But he's not going to be able to take over both men. Instead, Devin joining Mason in that vertical suplex on the floor here in St. Louis. Not doing Rudolph any favors. Now they've isolated Parnell in the ring. And this has got to be it. Kicks right to the face. Now Mason has got his legs hooked around the arms. The uppercut right into the code red. 1, 2. How did Parnell kick out of that? Parnell really showing just how tough he is, how bad he wants it. As the Hooligans trying to formulate their strategy. Rudolph sends Devin to the floor. Mason gets caught with that kick. Oh, now this time a chokeslam backbreaker. Parnell, the legal man. Just taking a little bit too much time. Now Rudolph sent hard to the floor. The referee has lost all control of this bout. Devin with a wild shot. Now trying to coordinate some offense with Mason once again. That power bomb. And Mason with the moonsault. Oh, Devin with a splash. The Hooligans have got this 1-1. 1, 2. And Rudolph having to jump over the official, breaking up the count, risking disqualification in the process, being admonished by the official. That momentary distraction could have cost him. No! Oh! That was a bad landing on that platform ringside. Mason dumped right on his head. And perhaps we're going to see another chokeslam variation. A chokeslam suplex. I can't say that I've ever seen that before. I think they've got the upset. If Rudolph was over about 2 feet, he would have been able to prevent Devin Cutter from coming in and breaking up that pin, but instead this match will continue. Both of these youngsters showing a lot of promise, but making some mistakes that they cannot afford this late in the contest. Parnell looking to fly. Oh, misses with a 450 splash. Rudolph once again sent to the floor. Oh, we've got that wheelbarrow. Mason looking to come off the second with the DDT. Nowhere to go. Very unpredictable angle. And the Hooligans pick up the victory. Once again demonstrating why they are one of the premier tag teams in the Midwest. And as Beyond Wrestling's tag team division starts to grow with the likes of Team Tremendous, the Minutemen, the Hoods, and EYFBO, I'd love to see the Hooligans match up with any one of those teams. Rudolph checking on his partner. And we're back with another tag team match. Again, a very special episode of All Killer featuring some tag team matches from the pilot taping of the St. Louis Sleeper Cell. Again, keep your eyes peeled for some footage in the coming weeks from the second St. Louis Sleeper Cell taping. Right here, we've got a tag team contest, the Kentucky Buffet of Alex Castle and Matt Cage, taking it to Reed Bentley and Trik Davis. Reed Bentley. He's going to keep that hat on? The official's not going to check it to see if there's any weapons underneath? I think that's a little suspicious. A little bizarre to me. You know that Reed Bentley and Trik Davis really trying to make this tag team work. It's going to be a good opportunity going up against one of the most seasoned tag teams in the Midwest in the Kentucky Buffet. Looks like it's going to be Alex Castle and Reed Bentley starting things off. And Bentley is insistent on wearing that hat. You almost got to wonder if it's a bit of a mind game, somewhat of a distraction for Alex Castle. Oh, Castle's removed that distraction. And Reed Bentley has been humiliated. I myself don't know what the big deal is. But it looks like Trik Davis has given Reed Bentley another hat to wear. And it looks like the mind games will continue. Bentley and Castle tie up once again. This time covering up his head. Maybe should be more concerned about the rest of his body. He's able to find that standing switch. Castle with a snapmare. An elbow to the side of the head and the other. Removes the second skull cap. And now it looks as though Castle's gotten in the head of Reed Bentley. Bentley, instead of tying up, caught that boot to the midsection. Now sending Castle to the back corner. Catches him with that elbow. Sends him from pillar to post. But Castle gets the boot up. Oh, and Castle coming off that second rope, driving Bentley face first into his knee. Bentley just inches away from tagging out to Trik Davis. Bentley caught with a couple shots to the chest. And Castle with the Irish whip, charging in with the knee. Doing quite the number on the solar plexus of Reed Bentley. Bentley was able to dig deep, though, find a reversal, misses with the clothesline. And Castle comes crashing down with that crossbody. It looks as though it might have done some damage to Castle, too, of course. The Kentucky Buffet having an altercation a few months back with Gangrel. Regardless, Matt Cage tying up with Trik Davis. Two great athletes right here. Trik Davis, student of Chris Heroes. Been around the game for a long period of time. Always see him in tip-top condition. He's got a lot of great techniques on the mat. It's going to be interesting to see how he matches up with Matt Cage, who's a sound technician in his own right, but he prefers to do battle standing. Those combinations that he's able to connect with, his kicks, his knees, the elbows, the fists, going to be ineffective on the mat. Davis must know that. There we see Cage going for that crucifix pin. He couldn't keep it applied either. Well, the crossbody did some damage. So did the crucifix. What happened to these guys when they had that altercation with Gangrel? I couldn't make out what Trik Davis was saying. But he seems to have a pretty sound strategy coming to this match. Gets behind Castle. Castle can't, Cage. Cage can't land any of those strikes from that position. But Davis can. Shoulder to the abdomen. Now the boot. Sends him for the ride. Cage out of the way. Ooh, Davis sent face first into the buckle with that head scissors takeover. Not much room in the corner. That's the knee that I'm talking about. You got to be careful from the strikes on a Matt Cage. And another one. Man, when this kid gets rolling, there ain't nobody that can stop him. Certainly one of the most promising youngsters in all of independent wrestling. Trik Davis doesn't even know where he is right now. Trying to tag out to the wrong corner. Snapmares him down. And look at that combination of offense out of the Kentucky buffet. Davis, though, with the jawbreaker. Just like that. Looking to take the attack to Castle. Give him credit for weathering the storm. Now attack to Reed Bentley, the freshest man in this match. Bentley comes charging him right there. Sometimes in tag team matches, I'll tell you what, when there's a lot of quick tags, if you're not effective in cutting off the ring, it can be very difficult to keep the momentum on your side. Of course, employing that strategy where you cut the ring in half, it's a lot easier said than done. You see it so often, though, because there's so many incredible tag teams on the scene right now. Just like that, we see Castle with the advantage, tagging in Cage. Cage with that boot to the side of the face. You saw right there, he made sure to keep contact with that left arm of Bentley, so even though when he kicked out, he was still in control. That's a smart move. Hasn't let go yet. Finally, some separation. Just enough distance to come charging in with that calf kick. I think Bentley was out of it, too. He was also looking to tag out to Castle. Cage just a second away from Bentley tagging out. Was able to hold on to the trunks, keeping him in the mat. Lighting up the chest with a chop. The headbutt not too effective. And Bentley trying to capitalize. Those elbows to the back of the head again. Neither of these teams have really been able to build momentum. Just as Cage almost made the mistake earlier, so did Bentley. Cage caught him with that elbow. He's going to tag out right here. Well, maybe a little bit too much hubris, probably trying to get done on his own. The reversal of the Irish whip. Davis caught him with the knee. And Cage is taking it to both of these guys. And this time, instead of catching him with the knee, he wrapped his legs around him like a body scissors. I haven't seen that before. Risking disqualification in the process, but was able to keep his opponent subdued long enough for Bentley to attack him. Again, bending the rules to his advantage. Choking Cage for the majority of that 5 count. And that's exactly what Davis does as well. Cage trying to hold on to those ropes. And Davis with a series of shots followed by that shoulder tackle. That's one way to get him to stop holding the ropes. Put him right in the center of the ring, brought him down like a power bomb. Now holding on that leg. Let's see what kind of tricks Trik Davis has up his sleeve. Looking to systematically dismantle Matt Cage. If he can go after the arms and legs, he can take some of those strikes theoretically out of the arsenal. Now he's got that leg grapevine, tagging him Reed Bentley. And Bentley coming down, crashing with all of his weight posterior first. So far, Bentley and Davis have not targeted one part of Cage's body. Just looking to continue the onslaught, any opening that they can find. We've seen a number of shots in the midsection. Now just trying to knock him out with that elbow in the corner. Castle's starting to get frustrated, understandably so. And the official cannot be intimidated by Davis and Bentley. He needs to step in there. And that was the wrong call. We did not see a tag between these two. What was that? Rebounding his hand off the rope. A little bit of added momentum with that forearm. Cage is slumped over, having to be held up. Just so that Bentley can get his shots in. Cage really trying to fight back right here. But again, he's just in the wrong part of town. That's a bad spot to be in as Davis and Bentley continue to just wear him down. And it looks like instead of targeting one body part, Bentley and Davis are just going to continue to wear away. I mean, Cage was lucky there with the inside cradle. Almost had his head taken off with that clothesline. And so many quick pinning attempts out of Bentley and Trik Davis. Reed Bentley probably most well known for his appearances with the School of Rock organization. Really starting to pick up momentum at IWA Mid-South. There we see the double knees. Again, and here's the thing with the quick tags. If you smother your opponent, then every time he kicks out, he has to expend energy. And believe it or not, sometimes that can actually be more effective than just trying to land body blows. Every single time he's got his shoulders pinned to the mat, he has to bring those shoulders off the canvas. And we see Trik Davis again going for that quick pin. Didn't even worry about bringing Cage over the ropes because I think that he's more concerned with just getting him in that pinning predicament. And you got to think about it too. It's almost like a hockey game with the number of shots on goal. At this point, it almost becomes a number game. And no matter how many times you can get your opponent down, go for that pin because you never know which one is going to be the one to put him away. Great combination out of offense. But even with that drop kick and the DDT, Cage really driven down on that head. Bentley and Davis just can't put him away. Now it looks like Bentley's trying to target that arm. Cage has unleashed a number of elbows and punches with that right arm in this contest. Trying to hyperextend that elbow. He does not have that applied the way he wants to. Instead, trying to transition to a body scissors so he can tag in Trik Davis. And now Davis, you get a sense of the frustration. Targeting the back with that back rake. Fighting out of this predicament. Bentley and Davis not able to connect with that double suplex. But as Cage was coming spinning in, caught with that elbow. And the super kick and another elbow. Referee's going to get some control. Both guys can't be going for the pin. And finally, Castle coming in to break things up. And the official, you're telling me is going to chastise him? I really think the inconsistency in this officiating has to do with the fact that Bentley and Davis have gotten under the skin of the official too. As Bentley and Davis continue to move around Matt Cage. It's a very unorthodox strategy. Honestly, not one that I can honestly say I've seen implemented any time recently. Basically just walking all over their opponent. Again, trying to keep him pinned to the mat. There's going to be well over 24 pinning attempts by this point in the contest. And again, that front facelock applied just to bring in Davis. These guys have got to be averaging a tag once every 20 or 30 seconds. The majority of the match being wrestled in their corner. Almost surprised to see Davis take him to the opposite side of the ring. Could this be a mistake? Go off the boot. Oh, what a combination. Took the leg out from underneath Trik Davis. Caught him with the knee. Now into the buckle. The momentum coming off the ropes takes him down with that Russian leg sweep. Now Reed Bentley trying to push Castle off the apron. Even if Cage was able to make the tag or get over to this corner, he wouldn't be able to bring him in. Now Bentley trying to show up. Matt Cage at his own game. One slap shut him down. You can understand why he was trying to go after that right arm. Oh! Cage with a DDT of his own. Bentley and Davis are both down. You almost wonder if perhaps they wore themselves out with so many quick tags. But here comes Castle. Castle with the boot. Out of the way of that clothesline. Shot to the midsection. And a boot to the side of the head. Right to the half Nelson slam. Dumped it right on the back of his head. Castle, instead of going for the pin right there, bringing Bentley up to his feet. Connects with that jawbreaker. Is the referee really going to allow that as a tag? You got to be kidding me. That's a bullshit call. Castle caught him with that knee to the back. I don't think Davis was ready to be tagged in. Was unable to mount any offense whatsoever. Now Castle taking it to both of his opponents. Oh, you want to talk Gangrel? That elevated DDT. Seen a lot of DDTs, a lot of concussive shots between the strikes and the blows to the head with maneuvers like the DDT. Maneuver like that, trying to find some separation. Position Castle close to the ropes. But by doing so, Davis came colliding down on Reed Bentley. Cage somehow able to muster the strength, the wherewithal to fly between the ropes. And now it looks like the Kentucky Buffet going to be targeting Reed Bentley. Got him with that bicycle kick and the Saito suplex. He's done. Trying to roll him over to get him in position. 1, 2. Oh! Very close call. Bentley going low. Some of those strikes. Davis with a blind tag. Slithers into the ring. He's trying to take over Castle. Just didn't have the position that he needed. Oh, Cage with the rolling forearm. Now he's got Davis up on his shoulders. Davis slips out. He's got the arm trapped, going for an Irish whip. Instead, ricocheting off the ropes. Oh, took Cage down with that inverted Hurricane Rana. Trik Davis is so unorthodox. Very, very unusual. Utilizes a lot of holes that you don't often see, especially the counters. Then again, after having it trained extensively with Chris Hero, you can understand the influence. Just got kicked right in the back of the head, though. These guys are all over the place. The match has turned into a downright bedlam. Oh, with the leg cradle. All of that body's weight coming crashing down. Hey, maybe if he had the skull cap on, that would have been able to absorb some of the blow for him. Instead, he might be out. Oh, Castle able to get underneath Davis. Cage got the boots up. Now elevated him off the shoulders, punched him right in the face on the way down. Davis up to his feet, perhaps on instinct alone. And a variation of the 3D. And the official allowing both members of the Kentucky Buffet to pin their opponent. That's enough to pick up the victory. Referee really lost control in this matchup. But Kentucky Buffet proving that their combination is the most effective. Cage and Castle pick up the victory. Main event time here at the St. Louis Sleeper Cell taping, as Team IOU, Nick Iggy and Kerry Awful are going to be taking it to Jojo Bravo and Bolt Brady, two mainstays in Texas that have recently relocated to the Midwest. Of course, the youngster tag team of Kerry Awful and Nick Iggy really starting to make a name for themselves. You hear Team IOU popping up everywhere. If you're on the boards reading results, more often than not, these guys have been competing on the show. And I'll tell you what, all the training in the world, it's great. But the only way you can really learn is in the ring, through trial and error, through your experience, win, lose, or draw. And that's what I like about Team IOU, the hustle. Now, I will say this, they're a bit unusual. Kerry Awful, a bit of a bruiser. Nick Iggy, a little bit whimsical. I think they have introduced a Buzz Lightyear action figure. What does Iggy need help with? To Infinity and Beyond Wrestling. Shocked, I've never heard that before. All right, I hear it all the time. But Team IOU, just as we've seen with some of the previous matches from this episode of All Killer, like when Jake Parnell and Alexander Rudolph were teaming. They were going up against the Hooligans, an experienced tag team. Team IOU teams regularly. You do not see either of these guys often in singles matchups. Whereas Jojo Bravo and Bolt Brady, while they do compete together frequently, do not team often. And it looks like Jojo Bravo is going to be starting things off. Jojo Bravo, he fancies himself somewhat of a sumo. And look at that. Blinded by his own headband and then slapped in the back. I don't think he saw that coming. One thing about Team IOU, these guys like to have a lot of fun, oftentimes at their opponent's expense. Kerry off-ball, Trik and Jojo Bravo bit him on the butt. And no rush to get things started, but IOU obviously has their fans, including a man that just held up an IOU sign here at the studio taping. And again, we do apologize for the quality of the footage, but definitely keep your eyes peeled for the footage that's going to be released shortly from the second St. Louis Sleeper Cell studio taping. We've gone to great lengths to improve the quality of the footage, but we still appreciate you checking this out. Doing the best that we can to shine that spotlight on the Midwest. St. Louis, a hub of some great wrestling. Of course, wrestlers like Team IOU, Jojo Bravo, Bolt Brady, they hope to be at the forefront of that movement. Jojo Bravo, what he gives up in size, he more than makes up for with experience, especially in this particular combination. The most experienced of all the competitors in this match. And obviously, a bit of a situation where he's probably used to being the smallest guy in every match he wrestles. There's not too many competitors that are smaller in stature. But as a result, he has that strategy tailored. He knows what it's like to have to face bigger opponents. He's not somebody that, like Kerry Awful, who I'm sure he's been in there with competitors that are smaller and larger than him. So he has to tailor his strategy depending on the situation. In that regard, Bravo has somewhat of an advantage, even though he's giving up so much size, which on the surface would probably look like a disadvantage. Awful now. What is he biting? Don't do that. He said he bit him on the kibbles and bits. That's gross. Kerry Awful. Let's get that wrist lock applied. Perhaps we're going to see some wrestling. No, biting. Told you, IOU likes to have a lot of fun. At the end of the day, bottom line, what it matters is if you can get that 1, 2, 3. Now Jojo Bravo doing a little bit of biting of his own. It looks like he wanted to tag in Bolt Brady. Bolt Brady didn't want in. Instead, Kerry Awful set in a position with that snapmare away from the ropes. Bravo going for the pin, and now it looks like Bravo's ready to tag in Bolt Brady. But before he has the opportunity to, he is bitten once again. And now Nick Iggy getting on some of the action, too. Okay, bite him on the head, bite him on the ass. And just as we saw in the previous encounter, we do have a bit of some biased officiating. A lot of times at Beyond Wrestling, we've got some newcomers in terms of wrestlers. Obviously, we've got competitors with varying levels of experience. Earlier in this taping, we saw Michael Elgin compete against Jonathan Gresham, two world-renowned athletes. But just as you've got wrestlers of various levels of experiences, so are the officials. Where do you think they go to hone their craft? Kerry Awful. Some bad blood with Jojo Bravo. Still verbally attacking him, even though his partner and Bolt Brady are in the ring. And with Nick Iggy, seems to be a little less antics than what we saw. But Bolt Brady, how about that? Using his speed as an agility. Obviously a well-conditioned athlete. Keeps himself in great shape. Also the tallest competitor in this match. Bolt Brady, a staple of the Texas wrestling scene. But again, just like Jojo Bravo has recently relocated to the Midwest for more opportunities. You know, you can't blame him when you take a look at the likes of R.D. Evans, ACH, competitors like that, how much it did for their careers once they were able to move out of Texas and throw themselves into some thriving scenes. Nick Iggy slingshot himself over with that drop kick. And perhaps that's not a maneuver that Bolt Brady had ever encountered in Texas. Therefore, he was able to get out of the way. Nick Iggy fires away with the forearm, and again, really cocking back. Now sending Brady off the ropes. Telegraphed the back body drop. That was a mistake. And Jojo Bravo tagged himself in. I do not think that Bravo and Brady are on the same page. And as a result, Bravo paying for it. And Brady not doing anything to help his partner out. Iggy calling for a cannonball. And Bravo stumbling around. Driven face first in the buckle, caught him with that kick. Nicky let the moment sink in a little bit too much. And Brady coming in with one of his signature backbreakers. Pulled Iggy away from the ropes. And again, with Brady being the tallest competitor in this match, he's going to be utilizing those long limbs to his advantage. I think IOU might have an easier time putting Bravo away just because they can keep him farther away from the ropes. And there we see Bolt Brady taking Nick Iggy's head off with that clothesline. Now putting the boots to him. And it looks like that time Brady put himself in a position to allow Bravo to get the pin. Bravo was something of a Napoleon complex. Look at that, though. Unorthodox. Just tell you what. Maybe only 120, 130 pounds. Used every single ounce of that weight to take down Iggy. The Iggy reversal the position. Going for that pin. And again, Jojo Bravo proven to be very explosive with his offense. Swinging around the ropes. Caught him with one boot to the face, but it wasn't enough. And there we see a quick reversal out of Iggy again. Now Jojo with these chops. And just burying the heel in the solar plexus of Nick Iggy. Continues to grind away. Follows it up with a stomp. Looking to send Nick Iggy off the ropes. And the knee-elbow combination takes him down. You hear Kerry awful trying to bark orders to Iggy, who's taken down with that backbreaker. That's the second big backbreaker that we've seen out of Bolt Brady. And again, you got to play with what brought you to the dance. If it's the long limbs, then yeah, maybe those backbreakers are the best strategy. Iggy showing a lot of heart right here. But Brady just cutting him off. Reversal of the Irish whip. Able to duck the clothesline. Good misdirection. And charging it with that flying back elbow. Oh, just caught him with that knee. And the knee drop. Great combination on Bolt Brady. Is that going to do it? No. Here's some of the other wrestlers starting to support Nick Iggy. Just based on his perseverance alone. I think that he's earned some fan among the other wrestlers here today. even from this vulnerable position, trying to fight up to a vertical base. Caught Brady with a series of shots. Brady just proved to be too powerful. Jojo coming off the top. A double stomp right to the back. Oh, Brady with that knee. Iggy never even saw it coming. And again, the body attack. The official distracted momentarily. Oh! And Jojo showing some of his agility before connecting with that drop kick. And more action with the knees out of Bolt Brady. Putting those powerful long legs to work. I gotta say, so far, Bolt Brady and Jojo Bravo have really complemented each other pretty well. Oh, with the bonsai drop. I don't know how effective that was. Kerry Awful starting to get a little antsy on the opposite side of the ring. Charging in. Pretty much blindsiding Jojo Bravo. But Bravo's still in control. Iggy went to reach over to the opposite corner, but Bravo was holding on to one of his ankles. Iggy ended up tripping himself up while being held in position. Now Brady's got a hold of the leg. Connects with the Enziguri. And Iggy's climbing to the corner that's making the most noise. But that's not where his partner is. Bolt Brady jumping on the back of Nick Iggy. Almost wonder if he was going for a lung blower. Oh, wow! Typically from that position, you almost see somewhat of a backpack stunner, but instead, Iggy able to shrug his opponent off his back, hold on to the head, and bring him down with that ace crusher. Innovative offense proven to be very effective. His opponent taking the brunt of that blow. And Iggy just a few feet away from making that tag. Here comes Bravo, but here comes Kerry Awful. Awful with the palm strike. And the elbow. And the back elbow. And the open hand strike. Oh! The overhand chops. Just popped him right in the nose. And drove him right in his head. Bravo's going to be done. And again, Bolt Brady with the knees. Really becoming his calling card in this matchup. And there's the lung blower you got to think he was going to be looking for a few moments ago. Unfortunately, not doing it to the legal man. He's looking for the pin right here. The official should know not to call it. And Kerry Awful kicked him right in the face. All four of these guys are spent, though. Awful and Bravo, the legal men, both back up to their feet. Now the open hand sumo strikes. Doing a number in the corner and the spinning strike. Up and over, caught up with that head scissors. Sent him into the buckle and tripping him up. Bravo certainly knows how to make the most out of what little he's got. Almost cut him in half with that spear. I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing out of Bravo here. Able to duck the clothesline. Catches Iggy with a clothesline of his own, keeping him in a position for the Irish whip. Oh, wow. Was able to transition from the head scissors to slip around and take Iggy down with that face buster. The Samurai Driver? But which two of these competitors is he going to be able to hit it on? Ladies and gentlemen, the history of the Samurai Driver. I think he spent a little bit too much time describing it, not enough time hitting it. That's just one man's opinion. Not one place's opinion. Brady got his feet taken out from underneath him. Ooh. Just drove him down, face first into the canvas. Now some more tag team offense in store. Bravo starting to stir as IOU is trying to get Brady the opposite corner of the ring. Set into the buckle. The drop kick and the senton. Oh, the kangaroo kick. And with both their opponents down, 1, 2, 3, Team IOU picks up the victory. Hey, thanks for joining us for this special tag team-centric episode of All Killer, and I hope you enjoyed footage from the pilot taping.